Hi guys, welcome to the last week of the builders. It's a very exciting week. Hopefully they'll be able to finish all of the little jobs off and we should be able to get our room sealed and ready. I say ready for us to do the next stages of work, but it's still very exciting. No offense to the builders, but I can't wait for them to get finished and get going. As you can see, we've put up an old sort of marquee, and that's because it's supposed to be raining tomorrow and we need to do the screeding. I'm going to be mixing the screed, so I've put this up so that I am sheltered from the rain, but also when we try and get the sand out, the sand doesn't get wet as well. So we've put this up in preparation for the builders tomorrow and getting the screed down. Here we are. It's taken all day, but we've finally got the screed down. We did that yesterday. We worked into the late hours. I say late hours, we didn't finish till about 7:30 at night. It took longer than expected, but we got there and it's now starting to look really good. We've got a flat finish so we can lay our tiles on. Pretty tired, but we got there in the end. So as you can see behind me, they've now got the door frame in place as well. So that's all in place. We've also screeded up underneath the door frame as well. Now that the screeding's gone in, the builders have managed to build the other part of the wall that was still left open that we used to get the screed in and put the window frame in. They've only got so far because the blocks are very wet. They're quite heavy, so we didn't want to go too far up. But hopefully they'll be back tomorrow to infill the gap at the top and start to enclose the room. We've also managed to start to put in this step that's going to go into our house. We've put a waterproof membrane, more insulation, and then concreted above that on top of all of that, and that's then created a step through the doorway and into our house. Obviously we've still blocked that up at the moment, but when we open it up there'll be a step into the kitchen and the new floor we've got. Another exciting day today. We've got another delivery coming. So today we've got our marble floor tiles and our MDF wood effect that we're going to put on the ceiling. So I think I'm going to spend most of my day moving those things into the barn and out of the weather. That's pretty much all of our materials now, other than a few little bits and pieces. So it really feels like we're starting to get to the end now, which is fantastic. Here we are. It's got an awesome crane, so let's help him unload. And there's our pallet with our MDF, which is going to go on our roof, and behind that are tiles for our floor. As you can see behind me, the builders have actually built the other side of the window because we were using that as a doorway before to get the screed in and out quickly. But as you can see, they've now built up the wall and they've put in the shuttering there, the piece of wood, to form the design that we've got already on the first window, which matches the design on our house. So that's all ready to put concrete in. But as you can see, they've now built the wall and enclosed the room, which is fantastic news. One of the things that I've been doing while the builders have been putting the windows in is putting the pipes back on our faucettique. So you might remember that we had to cut them off in order to build the window, or to take the window opening, and I've now re-put them back on, and as you can see there, they are all back in place and letting our fumes of our faucettique back out in the normal way. So we picked up all of our flue for our chimney. So we bought the stove about a month or two ago when it was kind of nice and cheap, but we had to order all of the flue. We want it all black, so right from the bottom right to the top we wanted a black flue. So we had to order them specially in, and it took a while for them to be ordered and delivered. So we've picked them all up. Unfortunately, the top half, which sticks out of the house, is actually still silver. Now, I can't work out for the life of me the codes that we were given by the builder who's going to be installing it against the codes that the shop where we bought it from written down, which are on our receipts, against the codes of the actual parts that we picked up. none of them seem to match. So God only knows whose fault it was, whether it was ours, the shops, the builders, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so what we've done is we've bought a tin of spray, black spray, which is suitable for stoves and barbecues, and we're just going to spray it black. And I'm going to spray the whole of the tube, everything I'm going to spray black. And that way, when we install a stove, the flue that actually sticks out the top of the house will actually be black rather than stainless steel. And we think that that will give a much nicer feel to it, and it will sort of tone it down rather than being able to see this kind of glarish silver chimney sticking out. So we've painted it back. I've given it 2 coats, and it looks really good now. So here we are inside the house, and as you can see, this is going to be the doorway that's going to take us through to the kitchen. We've put the wooden beams over the top of the doorway which they've created, and they've now plaster boarded around the edges and the whole wall just to give it a really nice finish, and obviously gone down the edge and just matched up the plaster with the stones just to try and give it a bit of a natural finish as well, which I think looks really, really good, and I'm really happy with it. So one of the things we'll have to obviously do is put some tiles at the bottom here, at the bottom of the step. So we'll tile the floor right up and then put a sort of a tile at the front as well, just to give it a nice finish, but that's for a later date. So the builders have also now finished pointing around the windows and the window sills, so you can probably just see it there as well, and that's really the last bit that they needed to do. Our next plan is to start pointing inside and try and get the wall inside all pointed. Ideally to try and get the whole room done and finished from a point of view of the walls, but I'm obviously going to have to do the roof and the floor at a later stage, but at least if we can try and get the walls done, that'll be great. The plan is we're going to repoint for some of the bits up high, but for the bit low down here where the kitchen's going to go, we're not going to see it. So all we're going to do is pretty much, I say repoint it, but kind of plaster it as well. So we're just going to cover the stones all together. No one's going to see it, but it's going to add strength to the wall anyway. So as you can see, we've started to repoint where the wall is. Obviously there's bits that we're going to see, but we haven't done the bit at the bottom there. If I walk over here, you'll see, again, we've sort of done the repointing there, but we're just starting on the bottom there. And we're kind of rendering it really with the lime, rather than kind of pointing it and leaving the stones. You can see all the stones there, but obviously down there it's going to just be rendered. So we just need to finish the bottom there, as you can see, the bottom behind that window. And if I kind of come round here, you'll see that we've also finished around the door that goes into our house. So we've put it on, it's got to dry for a bit. Luckily today it's quite a sunny day, so hopefully it'll dry relatively quickly, and then we'll brush it down, and then that should be all of the repointing done inside, which will be great. It's starting to look really good now, and yeah, can't wait to get it all cleared up so we can start getting ready for the stove installation, which will be next week. I hope you've enjoyed my video this week. It's been great showing you the updated of what we've been doing over the last week. The builders have finally left. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas as well. So unfortunately the work's going to have to stop. But please subscribe to my channel, click the bell so that you can get notified of our next video. And I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.